why. I'm mixing up between the Tuesday session and the Thursday session. So, welcome to a new session of the English Conversation Circle, which is part of the Circles program from Out&About Group. Out&About is basically aims at building a global society based on universal values, which are 5: love, peace, acceptance, forgiveness, and benevolence, and promoting the concept of the global citizen, which means a human being treating a human being as a human being. And all our activities, Circles program, Hand in Hand charity, the book club, the sports day, the trips, all activities go into those objectives and serve those objectives and those values. Okay. My way of facilitating this session is by getting your suggestions on what topic do you want to discuss in this session, and we vote on the different suggestions, and then we go on with the conversation and with the discussion. So that's my way of facilitating the English conversation session. So the objective of this session is to speak the language. Whatever vocabulary, whatever grammar, we don't correct any mistakes. Actually, we consider that there are no mistakes. If we understand what is being said, this is the most important thing. So there are no corrections, and the objective is to facilitate or to help us get out of the fear of using a foreign language, especially amongst ourselves in the Middle East or in other countries. Start with the suggestions. So what would you like to discuss in this session?
I have sympathize with Joyce.
Yes.
She put the topic, a post about traffic and ethics of traffic and aggressiveness.
Okay.
And I really sympathize with her.
Ethics in traffic.
And what is the solution to this?
Yeah. Okay.
What is the root cause? What is the solution?
Okay.
Do you like that choice?
Traffic ethics. Okay. What else? What would you like to discuss?
Ethics in general, and a part of it.
Normally, the way I facilitate this is that I don't speak in this session. Okay, on Thursdays I speak. In this session, I don't speak. The floor is all yours.
First of all, you did not introduce yourself to us. I don't know you.
Yeah, okay. One of the things that we actually sometimes do on purpose and Out&About, that we don't introduce ourselves. Why? Because we want to prove that without any information about ourselves, it is very easy to interact and to experience the values of love, peace, benevolence, all of those values without actually knowing each other's names. And this is one of the reasons why, not like any other groups, we don't do introductions in many of our sessions. Sometimes we do, but my way is that I like to present the experience that without any information about each other, we can actually live a beautiful life without having any background, even our names. Okay, but if you'd like to go a round of names, that would be okay.
No, at least you.
Okay, my name is Rami Dole. I am one of Out&About founders. I'm a life coach, and I consider myself as someone who's interested in personal development and social development. So I do personal development through life coaching and social development through my role in Out&About. Okay, so traffic ethics. What else? Yes.
Personal development or humanity in general.
Personal development or humanity in general.
Ethics.
Okay. Let's say personal development, and this meant something else. Okay. Okay. Suggestions? What would you like to discuss? I'm not going to speak. It's up to you. We can spend the 45 minutes in silence and do meditation. Come on, there are so many topics that you want to discuss, I know that.
We started the talk right before this whole setting started back there.
Yeah.
Just the whole idea of how we, what I think at least, we fail to live in the now. And I question even our ability to get out of that paradigm.
Okay. Living the present.
Living in the present.
Okay. Living the present. 3.
I don't understand what you mean by
No, so.
Living the now. Instead of living in the past or the future, there are many personal development books that actually tell us that it is more, it gives our life a better quality if we live the now instead of the future and the past.
There's a whole debate going on at that point. It's related to personal development. How should we live
The
the
limitations of the past and the limitations that it creates for the future.
But what is the best way?
Yes. We are going to find out.
How should you live your life? We started arguing even how kids, you live in the now, you feel the time pass. As you get older, you're always thinking either of your past or your future, and you're preoccupied except with the present. So you look at kids and wow, they're having so much nice time, and we're not. And Ronnie mentioned he'd been to several countries, and we felt the same way. It's not just Jordan, just not the Middle East, even everywhere people have problem enjoying their presence.
Yes.
And the present.
Type. Let's vote on these 3 topics. Okay. Who would like to discuss ethics in traffic? Raise your hands. 1.
They are all combined together.
Let's vote on the topics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Who wants to discuss personal development?
Yani we should discuss one.
No. We will discuss one topic unless one leads to another. We don't know how the discussion goes. So, who would like to discuss personal development? You can vote twice or 3 times, as much as you want.
I
One.
like both.
You have to make up your mind. Yeah.
We'll see the number of votes. Hands for personal development. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Hands for living the present. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 5 for the present and 5 for traffic. Let's repeat for the traffic. Who would like to discuss traffic?
Could you elaborate what you mean by the traffic?
Ethics and traffic.
Yani
Aggressiveness.
There is a problem of traffic in Jordan, in general. One of it, of course, the ethics. You know, yani,
Yes.
Okay.
yani driving,
Yes.
Okay.
it's a disaster.
Got it.
Okay, again, votes for traffic ethics. 1, 2,
Let's say ethic, traffic.
3. Okay, so we went down from 5 to 3.
Deflation. 40% in 5 minutes.
We okay, the present. Votes for the present. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the present. Who would you like to open the
I
floor?
chose, excuse me, I converted from one to another. I voted for 3 of them. But I found at a point of realization that the one most concerns me is this topic. that
Living
we
the
have
present. Yeah.
chosen.
It's very personal.
Somehow.
Okay, so living the present. Would you like to open the floor up?
Sorry, Steve, this is my first time. What is the, we're just talking,
Yeah.
sharing thoughts, or are we trying to get to a conclusion of some sort? Or?
Anything. There are no rules. Open it the way you'd like.
Okay, I'll start by explaining just because Joyce mentioned that she wasn't clear on what I meant. So there's a debate among certain people related mostly to personal development, how to live your life. And the idea is you look at kids, they live in the present, they seem to be happy. You look at adults, they're much more capable than kids as far as physical and mental capabilities, yet they don't seem to be enjoying embracing life as much as kids. The reaction to that is, at some point, I don't know the history of it all, but at some point people came out and said, maybe because we keep thinking about the future or the past, we regret things or we live to do things. Versus kids, they focus on now. I'm going to enjoy this 5 minutes. That's it. I'm not going to think of tomorrow. I'm not going to think of the next 10 minutes, only the next 5 minutes. And that's why kids enjoy it. So there's a whole movement now of living in the present, living in the now. Tens of books being written about it. I don't know if that's the answer, personally. I read a few of those books. I struggle between living in the moment seems to be, it appeals to your enjoyment of the minute because you ignore all your fears, anxieties. But at the same time, as an adult, you cannot escape from the future. You cannot escape the fact you will need to pay your rent, provide for food, pay for your gas at some point in the future. So you cannot be a kid because there's an adult when you're a kid that will take care of these things. You can live in the moment and be okay if you have a good one. So that's kind of, in summary, what is the discussion going on.
Okay.
I'll leave it
Yep.
on the floor to their 2 cents.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think many people, for some reason, they don't focus on the present and enjoy it. As you said, maybe they are thinking there is a better place, there is a better time to go, ahead of us, etc. I can tell you from my experience and something to share with Dalia. We used to live in a small compound, residential area that has like 60, 70 families. And we have all the goodies that you can imagine, playing grounds, swimming pool. That was in the 60s, 70s, Of course, Dalia was born later. but really, we used to live that life, but because it's a small community and it's far away from Amman, etc., we used to think this is, not that good. I mean, there is a better place, there is other people who are having more fun than us, etc. And now I remember and I traveled all around the world, all Europe, America, the Middle East, etc. And I lived in many places. It was the most beautiful part of our life. It was like Alice in Wonderland. But now I wished we enjoyed it at that time more. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's try to enjoy maximum now. And another thing, happiness episodes doesn't last long. It comes like very short pulses. Enjoy it to the maximum when you can. There is nothing as like long happiness. I mean, I'm talking about happiness, pleasure. The pleasure doesn't last long. It's short bursts, Try to enjoy it and give it the maximum you can have out of it. That's my advice.
And that's what the Now movement proclaims.
Yeah, exactly.
My problem with it, I'm not saying it's wrong or good or bad, I'm just saying my problem with it is, to me there's a tension. Is if you live in the moment, which is nice, somewhat, back to your statement, somewhat limiting. I'm not saying I'm happy. I'm not going to go to work. I'm not going to go try to study or do myself. I'm living a good life. This is good. Somehow it might stop you from doing anything. Potentially. Not necessarily. If you live in the future and keep imagining I can be better, it gives you the motivation to be a better person. But it comes with the risk. You always live in the future. It's already built in when you say, I want to have a better future. That statement is saying now is not good.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a tension. You cannot enjoy the now.
It depends
yet,
how you look at it. Yani, it might be you're not happy with it, or you're just thinking that you can be better.
can you have both? I think it takes a lot of talent to me to live in both.
I used to go for some kind of journeys or trips. While I'm in a trip, I keep thinking of things that I have already planned, so I cannot enjoy the moment. So if you keep thinking, so it's all about limitations, as we have previously said. I remember a speech from the play As You Like It for Shakespeare. He divides the human life as a man into seven parts, or 7 stages. So you start from being an infant, helpless, needs help, move to schoolboy, whining schoolboy, unwillingly to school. So as he describes the situation, then moves to the lover. You are looking for some relationships with the other sex. After that, the soldier, all the time boasting and full of strange oaths, and he seeks the bubble reputation. Then after that, he moves to the let's say the justice period of the man's age, which is the 40s. When you become an adult, you understand life, you have previous knowledge, which connects you to the next level or stage of your life. Then moves to the 50s age, when the man starts to grow older. Then after that, let's say the second childishness stage. So he divides. So when I remember this, I try to remember some spots in my life as he divided the stages of life. So I try to live some kind of living the moment, because I have some other stage that I will live. So if I live for that. So I'm trying sometimes to have this speech as a lesson, and to keep my life going on through this, let's say, this division for the stages of life.
Yeah. I think all of us live out of the present. We always have proud or regret about the past and looking for the future. Young people always looking for the future and say, I will do, I will make, I will. And old people say, I was doing that, I achieved this. He feel proud for the past. So I think no one lives in the present only.
And I have to tell you my experience. And I used to live, first I was in Palestine for 19 years, then I got married and I moved to the States. I was always thinking of back home, always. I wasn't happy. I mean, I was trying to be as happy as I can, but I was not. And my husband used to work a lot, and I had kids, and I didn't have a lot of friends because I didn't know anyone at the beginning, and I didn't have any relatives whatsoever. So I kept thinking of my parents and my siblings and stuff like that. And at the time that I moved, it was the Intifada, so for 6 months I wasn't able to even call them or to have any contact with them. So it was very hard. I kept thinking, no, خلاص, I cannot live here anymore. I'm not happy. I can't do it. Then life passed, and I was going back home every year, and I was trying to be as happy as possible, but I kept thinking of the past. Then we decided to move back home. We moved back home, and I wasn't happy again. And I was thinking, what happened to me? I wasn't happy there. Now I'm not happy here. But honestly, what happened is that I was thinking that it's going to be like before. Everybody's not going to be working. Because at the time that when I was there, the women weren't working. I'm old, I'm telling you. I went back home. My siblings are working. My sisters are working. Everyone's working. No one is free. And I have kids. My husband didn't want me to work. So it was very hard. And then I decided, I have to do something with my life. decided to work. And I had to do it with my husband, and I worked for a while. Of course, we had a lot of problems, and I had to leave. But I told him, okay, if I leave, I'll go back and study. And he agreed, as long as I come home when they're home, and I take care of them. And I went back to school, and I took French, and all that kind of stuff. And I was happy again, but not as satisfied. Then, for some reason, for our situation, we had to move here, and because of medical reasons. And so I had to move here and come back home. And all of a sudden, I'm not happy again. So now I decided, I'm really happy, thank God, because you have to be satisfied with whatever you have. You have to be convinced that you can do it. And I'm sociable, so I did it. And my husband was very supportive of me, and my kids are great. So thank God. I mean, you have to live, as you said, you have to live the moment. Because if you keep thinking about the past, you keep regretting stuff.
But I think I can identify with you, but maybe can analyze what happened to you. This is my own thoughts. It's natural that when you go to like a new country, new society, really it takes some time. In my estimation, at least what happened with me, you need at least 6 months to break the homesickness. And this is what happened with me. During 6 months, I was not happy, as you said. And one of the reasons is I did not make good friends with like Americans. I used to know some of my colleagues from my country or the international students, and this is natural. They stick together because they are not open to the big society. But once I decided to break that point, and I made a lot of friends, I started to enjoy being in the States and made good friends. Despite, they were East Coast, New England people are not easy to make friends with. Yeah. But it turned out that these people, after like 2 years, they became very good friends, better than even friends elsewhere, like in California, etc. And even after I came back here, they kept in touch with me. Whenever I go to the States, they invite me for Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc. And as I said, maybe by the time you get here, you get back here, you discover that all this rosy picture that you had on your home or etc. suddenly is changed. Even sometimes the landmark changed, the building changed, the streets changed, and people don't like that. By default, you like to have that tree or that house or that small shop in its place.
Exactly what it was.
Exactly, yeah. When you see a lot of changes, it's like, I remember when we were living in Kuwait, and we ran away from Kuwait when Saddam attacked, etc. So a few years ago, my wife got an invitation from her sister, who's now living in Kuwait, and we decided to go back to Kuwait. And we had this, image of Kuwait at that time. And then we looked for our house for many hours, and we could not see it because it's already destroyed, and the skyscraper instead of it. And then she was looking for her parents' house, and when we arrived to that area, and we saw a dwarf house like that, small, like a matchbox, and surrounded by skyscrapers. That was really killing image. So this is my kind of analysis to what happened to you. I'm not sure if it's correct or not.
No, it's correct. I would just say that when I dealt with the Americans, okay, at the beginning it was a little bit hard, but then I realized that honestly, not that I'm saying that they're better than us, but they are straightforward. I mean, they're nice to you, they tell you, they help. They're very, very, how do you say, they're very polite. Like, let's say you're going to the mall, they open the door for you. You open the door, they say thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, you let them in front of you, they don't even say thank you. I was just telling him, I had an accident, and I let her go with everything. I mean, she hit me really bad, and my car was destroyed. I had to go in the ambulance to the hospital. I had a lot of stuff done. I had to rent a car for 32 days, and I ended up paying. The insurance only paid 8 dinars, and it was 35 JDs. I asked her only for a paper the other day, and she kept telling me, well, I don't have the time to get it for you. I'm like, you know what? you know, I've been so nice to you. I've done everything. I let you go. I felt so sorry for her because she had 5 kids, and her car was fine. She was fine. Everything was damaged by her. Yeah, I was damaged. Everything was damaged. She said sorry, but that was it. She wouldn't help me. She wouldn't do anything whatsoever. And I told her, I said, honestly, you made me learn a big lesson that I would never help anyone anymore. Never. يعني
I was going to suggest that topic. اللي
it's
هو يعني
related.
being nice and helpful to people and they come back on you.
Exactly.
Why?
It's
Why? Why if somebody is nasty to them and really aggressive, here they respect him and they like him. They like to get close to him. I don't know why, especially if he's crook. Anyhow, yeah, one of the things I suggest to enjoy and be happy in any place, especially when you go a place new, or even when you meet new people, is actually socializing and small talk is not really a good, but doesn't make good bonding. What really makes very good bonding, this is what I learned, anywhere you go, is to share things with people. Do things. Do. I'm talking about volleyball, you go scuba diving, you go camping, you do this. That's the best way to make good friends.
It's
While
much easier, I think. It's much easier. Just keep smiling.
no, I'm
It's a matter
talking.
of
I'm
practice.
talking about. I'm
So
talking.
if you practice frowning all the time, people will have the picture of someone I don't like. I won't deal with them, with such person. So if you are smiling, you encourage people to just to.
Then you want
uh,
to Jordanian beer.
No, actually,
So I'm trying to tell my friend, just keep smiling, just let others smile to you also. So you will feel friendly with them or to them.
Yes,
No,
So
no,
it's a
approachable.
matter of practice. If you practice
That's-
smiling, you will be a good
that's
smiler
not
and
enough.
you will help people and they will accept you or help you on the other hand. So it's some
You
kind
have to
of
have the positive
personal.
thinking. You have to
actu-
have the positive thinking.
no, no.
But
Yes,
actually,
exactly.
I want to go back to your point where, and this would get us move into the now thing. Bonding, using activities for bonding and getting to know people, is a very good tactic for getting involved in any society that you want to be involved
Exactly.
in. Actually, this is the strategy, the tactics that Out and About used
Exactly.
in getting the society to get together, which is making activities like this one, okay? And this helps as well in living the now. So
Yeah.
all of us now are concentrated on our discussion here. We are not thinking about the rent. And we're not thinking about the homework. Maybe some of us are. But in general, those activities help us as well live in that moment where we are not only bonding, but actually concentrating on the game, on the volleyball, on the whatever activity we're doing in the camping.
Besides, when you are physically doing this activity, it shows some of your characters
Yes.
and values or merits that doesn't show only with the small talk and
Absolutely.
social. Actually, tennis helped me to make this breakthrough in America because I was very good in tennis, and we were like in a co-ed dorm and cafeteria, full board. My graduate study costed me for 1 year $6,000 full board, including tuition, 6,000, including food and bed. Everything, yeah. And I found difficulty in getting close to the Americans because, maybe they have at that time, they don't know, much about Arabs, etc., Middle East. They always thought that we are riding camels, etc.
Yeah.
So they were talking in the table about tennis. They want to play tennis. I say, I know play tennis. And some of them were laughing. I mean, in Jordan, they play tennis. Give me a break, something like that. And I say, yes, let test me. So one of the guys, he was like self-conceited, and he brought his girlfriend with him and his friend, and we played. And I started my, shooting my serve, and the racket flew from his hand. At that time, they said, "That's it. We accept you." Believe me, that was really the point that helped me. So as I said, doing things. And another thing, Americans in general, she's American, but this is how I learned. They respect the strong. They respect when you are confident.
Had a good experience, honestly.
Exactly.
It seems that you had a very bad experience in general with the Americans. And on the contrary, I had a good experience, except when it was the 9/11, and I went rushing to the school to get my kids. All the Arabs were rushing to get their kids from the school, and I came back and I called all my neighbors who were very close, and most of their husbands used to work at the Pentagon, so I asked them, each one, how is your husband home? Is he okay? Blah blah blah. And then this one lady who wasn't even an American, she was Italian, and she was a good friend of mine. She used to come and cook with me every Thursday because she liked the Arabic food. And then all of a sudden I called her and she didn't answer, and I left her a message and I said, "Lisa, is your husband okay? Please let me know, blah blah blah." She didn't answer, she didn't call me back. The second day I saw her outside, we were actually the same day, the afternoon, everybody's outside, everybody's talking about it. So I said, "Hey Lisa, are you okay? Is your husband okay?" And she goes, even though my other neighbor told me he's okay, he's even off. He didn't even go to the Pentagon that day. And I said, "Is he okay?" And she goes, you Arabs, I hope you end up in camps." And I said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "It was one of your own when it was the, what happened in Ohio or in Oklahoma. And I said, "It was one of your own. You're pointing the finger at us. It wasn't even known at the time that it was an Arab or not." And I said, "Even if he speaks Arabic, it doesn't have to be Palestinian or Jordanian or whatever. It's like as if because he speaks English, he can be from Britain.
Anywhere.
We can point the finger at you. That doesn't make sense." And she was so upset and she kept yelling and da-da-da. And I'm like, I can't believe it. So the second day I wouldn't even talk to her. And she used to have squash, and I used to tell her that we cut it small, and she used to say no way. So she felt that I was upset, and she tried to talk to me, and I wouldn't talk to her. So she came and she brought me, a big bag of small squash, trying to make me feel better. I mean, I tried as much as I can to be nice, but she did hurt me at the time because, I just couldn't understand why would she do such a thing, even though my husband works as an attorney with the government. Why would she do such a thing? And we all have the American passport, so we're Americans.
Yeah, and this is again societies and. Societies, and when we look at societies, it's very easy to do categorization, while it all ends up to individuals, really. And there are no categories in society, and there are individuals acting on their own belief system and the individual belief system that they adopt. But it's very easy for our minds to perceive life in categories, and therefore we translate things in categories so as to make our decisions easier in life and how to choose our paths in lives and the people that we know. And looking at challenges in my life, I realized that most of them were solved, not because I did anything. It wasn't my own actions that solved those challenges. 90% of the challenges that I went through were solved without my interference, or at least my interference had nothing to do with solving my challenges, which means that 90% of our concerns are out of our influence. We have absolutely nothing